I do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. Whereas Pacquiao, at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Manny Pacquiao is really considering of coming back to professional boxing. I think that would be a good measurement and sign and a marketing for him when he returned to boxing.
Debate of who is the greatest boxer of all time.
And that would be you?
I don't know. That's why I'm still keep fighting.
Floyd Mayweather has finally broken his silence on the much-talked-about return of his longtime rival, Manny Pacquiao, who at 46 years old is stepping back into the ring. Known for their historic 2015 bout that captivated the boxing world, Mayweather and Pacquiao's rivalry remains one of the sport's most iconic storylines. In his first public reaction to Pacquiao's comeback, Mayweather did not hold back, speaking with a mix of respect, caution, and a subtle challenge. Fans and boxing experts are now wondering if this comeback could restart one of boxing's greatest rivalries, or if it will lead to something even bigger and more exciting in the sport.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is a done deal. Fight will either happen July 19th or July 26th in Las Vegas or San Antonio. And it's not going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be free on Amazon Prime. Whew. We blast Jake Paul for these types of fights. And yet a current world champion in Mario Barrios is going to go after Manny Pacquiao. Listen, I get it. You get to share the ring with the legend of Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest to all ever do it. But he's been retired now. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Manny Pacquiao did not look good in his previous exhibition he did last year either. Mario Barrios should easily run laps around Manny Pacquiao, destroy him. Why are we wasting time with this type of fight?
Manny Pacquiao, the legendary Filipino boxer and the only 8-division world champion in boxing history, is preparing to make a remarkable return to the ring at the age of 46. After retiring in 2021 following a unanimous decision loss to Yordenis Ugas, Pacquiao has now announced his plans to challenge Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title in July 2025. This comeback fight holds special meaning, as the WBC welterweight title was the first world championship Pacquiao won during his incredible career, having captured the WBC flyweight title back in 1998, marking the start of his legendary rise in boxing.
What's the next fight you're working?
I'm working now.
Where? Oh, you're going to New York?
No.
I'm saying. You know, I told someone that he's one of the main coaches here, and they said, why is Roberts Gardner a coach? They thought he was the guy. No, I'm serious. Someone thought that you were the Gardner guy.
What? No. Blas?
Yeah, no, someone seriously, one of the boxing reporters. No, Blas. I said, no, he's not. Yeah, of course, he's a legend. Where is he?
What is yours?
The firefighter.
They thought it was
Because they saw the videos and they got confused. Oh, Mikey's here. Who's the guy with Mikey? Who's the guy with Mikey? Okay, really quick. Manny Pacquiao. It looks like he's fighting Barrios July 19th. Who wins?
Mario Barrios, a 29-year-old American boxer from San Antonio, Texas, currently holds the WBC welterweight title. Barrios captured this belt after delivering an impressive and dominant performance against Yordenis Ugas in September 2023. In that fight, Barrios knocked Ugas down twice, showing his sharp power and excellent boxing skills. The judges scored the fight 118-107 twice and 117-108, giving Barrios a clear, unanimous decision win and making him the full champion after Terence Crawford moved up to the super welterweight division. Barrios has expressed great excitement about facing Manny Pacquiao, calling him a living legend and saying it would be an incredible honor and dream to share the ring with someone of Pacquiao's stature. This matchup has captured the attention of boxing fans and experts around the world, with many curious to see how the legendary Pacquiao will perform against a younger active champion. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has shown strong support for this fight, praising Pacquiao as one of the greatest champions ever and pointing out that several boxing legends have made successful comebacks in history. Pacquiao's longtime advisor, Sean Gibbons, also believes this fight is a perfect fit, calling Barrios the right opponent and describing the matchup as a 50-50 fight, one that is very winnable for Manny, whose speed, experience, and unique fighting style could give Barrios a lot of problems in the ring.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't want to really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios. We've talked about Conor Ben, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever, many years ago, was a WBC belt. So
Floyd Mayweather believes Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring is probably motivated by financial reasons, which is common among many retired fighters who make comebacks. In professional boxing, these returns often happen when aging legends look for one last big payday, especially if they haven't fully moved into a stable post-boxing career. Despite this, Mayweather admits that even Pacquiao's C game is still better than many current fighters' best efforts. This highlights Pacquiao's outstanding talent and ring intelligence, which have not completely faded with age. His experience, speed, and unusual fighting style give him a chance even if he is no longer in his prime. However, there is still a concern about the physical risks involved, especially against younger opponents. In the end, Mayweather's comments show both respect for Pacquiao's long-lasting legacy and concern about the dangers of returning to top-level competition after retirement. The rivalry between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao remains one of the most important and profitable in boxing history, spanning over a decade. Their clash in 2015 came after years of talks, setbacks, and public demand. Talks started around 2009 when both were at their peak, but disagreements over drug testing and promotion delayed the fight. Mayweather insisted on Olympic-style drug testing, which Pacquiao first refused, causing talks to collapse. More issues came from network deals and purse splits, keeping the fight stuck in limbo. Finally, on May 2, 2015, they met at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas in what was called the Fight of the Century. Mayweather came in with a 47-0 record, while Pacquiao had a 57-5-2 record. The fight broke records with over 4.66 million pay-per-view buys and over $600 million in earnings, making it the richest boxing match ever at that time. In the ring, Mayweather used his usual defensive style with smart counterpunching and footwork to control Pacquiao's attacks. Pacquiao later revealed that he had a shoulder injury before the fight. After 12 rounds, Mayweather won by unanimous decision with scores of 118-110, 116-112, and 116-112. Even though the hype was massive, many fans and critics felt disappointed with the lack of action, but the fight still strengthened Mayweather's reputation as a defensive master and added another chapter to Pacquiao's famous career. After their fight, both fighters continued to compete, with Mayweather retiring unbeaten at 50-0 and Pacquiao winning more titles before retiring in 2021. Their rivalry remains one of the defining moments in boxing, showing the sport's mix of skill, strategy, and worldwide spectacle.
Any version of Mayweather would have always beaten Pacquiao, in my opinion. I think Mayweather would have always done what's necessary for Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had a greater career, but I think Mayweather's a better fighter. And I think Mayweather had the right things for somebody like Pacquiao. I mean, he had the right one-punch speed. He had the right IQ. He was bigger than Manny with longer arms. He had great feet. It's just a kryptonite for Manny Pacquiao. I personally thought so.
Manny Pacquiao spoke about that he shouldn't have.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah.
Because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not going to say he's right and I'm not going to say he's wrong. You know, but it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing. Just by you saying my name, they gave me a check for $4 million. He said my name when he didn't supposed to. Remember I said it's a time and a place for any and everything.
Pacquiao's decision to return to professional boxing comes after time spent in politics, including his campaign for the Philippine Senate. His advisor, Sean Gibbons, confirmed that Pacquiao wants to finish his incredible career by reclaiming the WBC title. which has great sentimental value as the belt that began his rise in boxing. The expected fight is set to take place in Las Vegas, with possible venues like the T-Mobile Arena or the MGM Grand being looked at. While the final date and location are not yet confirmed, the fight is planned for late July 2025 after Pacquiao finishes his political commitments. This comeback has sparked a lot of debate in the boxing world, with fans and analysts discussing the meaning of a 46-year-old Pacquiao challenging a younger active champion. Still, Pacquiao is confident, pointing to his experience and the fact that he hasn't taken much damage in recent years as reasons for a possible successful return. In July 2024, Pacquiao faced Japanese kickboxer Rukia Anpo in a 3-round exhibition at Japan's Saitama Super Arena. Originally, he was supposed to fight Chihiro Suzuki, but Anpo, who is taller, stepped in as a replacement. Anpo used his height and reach well, landing strong jabs and combinations that kept Pacquiao away. Pacquiao struggled to break through Anpo's defense and had trouble using his famous footwork, partly because of the thick ring mat. Despite a strong final round, the match ended in a draw. Pacquiao later admitted he was only about 60% ready and hadn't trained enough. His advisor, Sean Gibbons, said Pacquiao came in underprepared and was a bit laid back. Boxing experts have given mixed opinions on Pacquiao's comeback. Promoter Ben Shalom said he understands the appeal of returning but warned about the health dangers, pointing to past fighters whose late career fights hurt their well-being. Shalom said, "It's hard as a promoter to say it, but if you have enough money, you have to protect your health." He pointed out the challenge older fighters face in giving up the excitement of competition, saying, "Fighters are addicted to that buzz, and it's very hard to replace it in those last years." Legendary promoter Bob Arum also advised Pacquiao to think about retiring, worrying about the long-term risks, especially with examples like Muhammad Ali. Arum said, "He's over 40, he's got to watch out. I'm really worried."
Don't shadow boxing like that.
Yeah, it's lazy, right? Just kind of...
When you do the shadow boxing like that, what is that for? Because you can apply that in a habit. You become a habit. When you shadow boxing like...
Woo! Woo!
Like that.
The speed is still there. Woo!
Max Kellerman has presented a strong argument for why Manny Pacquiao should be considered the greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all time, even though most boxing experts and historians typically place Sugar Ray Robinson at the very top of the list. Kellerman's case is built on 2 major points. First, the incredibly wide range of weight classes where Pacquiao succeeded, and second, the high quality of opponents Pacquiao beat at his best. Pacquiao holds the unique distinction of being the only boxer in history to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions, ranging from flyweight to light middleweight, a difference of nearly 40 pounds, which is something no other fighter has done. This speaks to his remarkable ability to adapt and stay competitive against bigger and stronger opponents, often giving away size, reach, and natural power, but still coming out victorious. In contrast, Sugar Ray Robinson's achievements, while legendary and incredibly impressive, were limited to just 2 weight divisions, welterweight and middleweight. Robinson's record is outstanding, with 174 wins and 109 knockouts. But his success came within a much narrower weight range compared to Pacquiao, making Pacquiao's case for the pound-for-pound title even more compelling in Kellerman's eyes.
He also has a case for greatest fighter pound for pound who ever lived. Think about, by the way, I don't think he wins that argument. Sugar Ray Robinson is safely ensconced in that position. But Henry Armstrong, Muhammad Ali, Harry Greb, Sam Langford, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, whoever else you want to mention, put Pacquiao's resume up to those guys. Bill James, the great baseball sabermetrician, had a way of ranking baseball players that I came across as a kid and thought, that's really smart. You have to rank them at their best and then also over the course of their careers. Because when you have that argument, are you talking about who accomplished the most or what heights did they reach? What peak did they reach? Take either for Pacquiao. Take his peak. Was it at 140 pounds when he obliterated Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, and then Oscar De La Hoya, though that was at 147? Was that Pacquiao's peak? Because remember, that's when the Mayweather-Pacquiao hype actually reached fever pitch. Oh my God, these are two of the best fighters we've ever seen. And they're both in their primes, in the same weight class at the same time.
Pacquiao's peak years likely came when he was fighting between 140 and 147 pounds, a time when he not only dominated some of the sport's biggest stars, but also generated enormous excitement among boxing fans worldwide. This was the period when fans were most eager to see a showdown between Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, as both fighters were competing in the same weight division and were ranked as the top 2 pound-for-pound boxers in the world. Kellerman points out that even though he personally leaned slightly toward Mayweather at the time, partly because of Mayweather's natural size advantage, Pacquiao's ability to keep moving up in weight and still beat world-class opponents strengthened his reputation as one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. Pacquiao wasn't just fighting in higher weight classes, he was defeating elite opponents, often in dominant fashion, showing speed, power, and an aggressive style that overwhelmed rivals. This combination of moving through weight classes and beating top competition adds a lot of weight to Kellerman's argument that Pacquiao's achievements deserve to be mentioned alongside, or even above, those of boxing's other all-time greats.
Pacquiao, it's weird. Danny felt like a big brick. Pacquiao felt like a little brick, okay? Now, the weird part is Pacquiao's hands just felt heavy. After the fight, I constantly was thinking, why did his fist feel like a rock? You know? It was like awkward, right? I was like, why did his fist feel so hard in the fight? You know? I was like, it was a little awkward. You know, I don't really care about that stuff that much. I mean, I could handle it. It wasn't devastating. It didn't really feel like plaster, but it felt like something. It felt like a rock. So I thought, like, does he do certain training? Does he do certain, you know, does he build up calluses? Does he have more dense bone density in his hands? Did they do some Asian stuff? What did they do? Who knows, right? And then looking at the picture, I was like, damn, you know what? Pacquiao wore them old school Mexican Reyes.
The foundation of Pacquiao's long-lasting success in boxing has always been his hard work and unmatched discipline, both inside and outside the ring. Even as he has moved into his 40s, Pacquiao has kept up an extremely intense and demanding training routine, often pushing himself harder than many younger fighters in the sport. His workouts include grueling cardio sessions, weight training, sparring, and technical boxing drills, all aimed at keeping his body sharp and his skills polished. One of Pacquiao's most famous training habits is doing thousands of sit-ups. Every day, a routine he began after a painful knockout loss to a body shot in 1999, promising himself to build an iron-strong midsection. Pacquiao's training schedule is legendary, typically involving 6 days of training per week, with 2 training sessions per day on 3 of those days. Even when he's not preparing for a specific fight, Pacquiao stays highly active, often playing hours of basketball as part of his fitness routine. His work ethic reflects his deep belief that tough training leads to easier fights inside the ring. As Pacquiao himself has famously said, "I work hard so I can fight easy." This level of dedication has allowed him to stay competitive at the highest level for over 2 decades and continues to inspire fans and younger fighters around the world, showing that with the right mindset and discipline, age doesn't have to stand in the way of greatness.
He's an interesting guy, man, because he's so friendly.
Right.
You know, like Pat, even like when people are trash talking, he's like smiling, and then he gets in that ring.
Kick your
different dude.
Right.
Once he steps through that roast, like this is a whole different set of rules he's flying with.
Like Keith Thurman talking about you gonna crucify him and stuff like that, and he just
don't say that. Yeah, okay.
And got crucified.
Yeah, but he's
I wish you the best
too.
Good luck in the fight.